our service. Today, it's my pleasure to introduce our presenter, Lisa Churakos. Lisa is a skilled business developer, a website developer, and also an integration expert. She is the founder and the CEO of the company Workbea Digital. She leads her team to deliver top-tier digital services to clients. So now, Lisa, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Brenda. Just to piggyback on Brenda's comments, just so you know, everybody, I am going to be celebrating my 9th year in business in 2025. And I will tell you this, I was a client of my local SBDC, and I would not have been able to stay in business that long if it wasn't for my mentor. And, you know, these services are free to us, and the resources that they have are just, you know, unparalleled. No, they just have so many resources to offer you, a wealth of information. So if anything, just get signed up, even if you're not started or you've been in business 20 years. I would still go back if I needed something. So with that being said, I just want to put in the chat here, I wanted to get a feel of who was here last time. And also, I want to get an idea of where you are in your business and what type of business you're in. Because we're going to use real world examples today. And I'm going to give you some exercises to do during our time together and some tools for you to use while I'm presenting. So if you could just chime in the chat and tell me if you were on last week and what business you're in. I see we have Jennifer. We have, oh, hi, Julie. Yes, you were in last week. Small Etsy business. Yep. And I know you're trying to get off there. Well, trying to look for other channels that are more profitable for you. The candle business. Yes. Mavis, answer in the chat. When you say startup, have you begun the process of getting a DBA or an LLC? Are you official, or are you just kind of sticking your toe in the water right now? Charcuterie, yeah. Ooh, Stephanie, journals. I love that. Okay, Mavis. Yes. Hi, Sam. Great to have you on board. And feel free to chime in with any expertise you might have.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Beauty accessory business. Okay. Nikia, is that how you pronounce it? That's a very competitive space. Okay, we might pick on you a little bit. Victoria, how about you? Okay, so I'm going to get started as I'm reading. Okay, small Etsy business. Victoria, what type of business? What are you selling on Etsy? All right, so 9th year in business, but I've been doing this 25 years. I owned a restaurant. I bought a restaurant at 19, sold it at 34, and then went back to school and learned how to code. So I am a web developer, but throughout my career, I kind of leaned more towards, really, I was fascinated with how customers buy online and the psychology behind an online purchase and how you get found online. So we've come a long way since I started out, and it's so hard to keep up on the technology. Victoria, digital products, that's a great one. So profitable. I love it. On demand, I love that. Okay. And I'm going to show Victoria, there's some cool stuff out there for you with your digital products. So I'll go over that. So here are the tools that we're going to be using today. And we're going to review a little bit of what we did last week, and then we're going to move into what's called the customer journey and really understanding, how people are going to find you and do business with you through that online journey. And it's not all linear. It's not all online, because some people start online, then they ask a neighbor, then they talk to a family member, then they go back online. So I'm going to show you kind of that journey and these digital touch points we're talking about today. So whenever they're, online and looking or wanting answers about a topic, you want to make sure you're showing up, excuse me, and your business looks consistent. So there's going to be two words I'm going to be using today that may not be familiar with you. One is called your digital footprint. And all that means is anywhere your business is online, whether it's Facebook, your website, Etsy, Yelp, doesn't matter. I just want you to have an idea of what that means, because when I talk about your digital footprint and when I talk about these strategies and implementing them, you can implement them on any platform just about. Just a little bit different on each, on how you go about it, but the concept is the same no matter where your business resides. And let's see. Ooh, love and astrology. Ooh, Christina, I had a client like that a couple of years ago. She did birth charts, and you were in, and we set her up so that people could actually book the reading, pay for it in advance, and schedule that appointment with her. So very cool. I love that. Yes. All right. So if you are not familiar, I want you to, and don't watch me. You're going to listen to me. You might peek in at the Zoom call, but you're going to be using these tools today. We're going to review them from our last week. I want to do a little bit of a dive, and then we're going to go into the next topic. So you're going to bring up a tab, and you're going to type in Google Trends. You're also going to bring up another tab, type in Uber Suggest. You're going to bring up another tab and type in Answer the Public. And then if you didn't set up an ads account, you can set up an ads account. Just take a while. You might not be able to use it for this training, but all of these tools are free. And in Google Ads, they're going to try to trick you to set up an ad, but you don't have to set up an ad to use the tool that's important in there. And that tool is called Keyword Planner. So the other word I'm going to use today is an acronym in our industry. It's called SEO, and it's search engine optimization. And I think that's a little outdated, because we should be calling it search and algorithm optimization, just meaning that you're optimizing your digital footprint to show up when it matters. Because that's the whole thing, guys. We don't get online just so we can see our business online. We get online so we get found by potential customers, right? And you could have the most beautiful product and the most beautiful website, but if no one can find you, you don't even have a seat at the table. And if you don't have a seat at the table, you're not going to eat. Now, with platforms like Etsy, they have that built-in audience, and you pay for it. We get a lot of clients that say, I want to get off Etsy. I want to get off this platform because of the fees they take. My advice is always stay on Etsy and start building your digital footprint out in a way that it cannibalizes your Etsy traffic. And the bad part about Etsy is you don't get to establish the relationship with the customer. They own the relationship. Your digital footprint is going to consist of social media, maybe Google My Business, but the only piece of land that you own on the internet is your website. Everywhere else, you are just a tenant. You're renting, and you could be evicted at any time. So I'm a big believer in farming your land, because if you don't farm your land, nothing is going to grow from it. I know a lot of people who built their businesses on social media, and then changes were made in social media. I know you're all probably seeing those changes, and their business suffered because of it. I had a coach 2 years ago with 20,000 followers. Her Instagram got hacked and stolen. We tried for months to get it back and we couldn't. She lost about 60% of her sales because all of her selling and interaction was on Instagram. So think of social media as a foyer to your office. It's the hallway where they come in, you meet them, you greet them, you might have a little small talk in the hallway, but you always got to get them into your office or your virtual store. That is the piece of land that you own. So when people think of you or your business, or they see you online, there's always an opportunity to get to your office. So I want you to keep that up. Yes, Google Trends, Google Ads. Thank you, Leslie. Uber Suggest, and also Answer the Public. So I want you to chime in if you were able, what you implemented or thought about or went and researched based on what you learned last week. Can you guys just chime in? And I might call you out to elaborate just a little bit more, but we're going to review some of the information and then head into the second half. And please do just go ahead and chime in with questions. And if I don't answer you, just unmute and interrupt me, please, because I want you to get the most from this as you possibly can. So when we think about e-commerce, I don't want you to think about products. I can see we have some digital products here, but you can also think about services. E-commerce has been redefined. All it means is the ability to transact with you online, digitally, no matter what you sell. You can sell services, you can sell digital products where they download it, you can sell physical products, you can sell appointments, you can sell events. I mean, really, it is just wide open. And remember that shoppers go online first in over 60% of the shopping occasions. I want to start out with a scenario. Before we do that, let's just cover this. So selling online has great benefits. If you're not bound to a local business, like a local geographic business, like I'm a landscaper. I can't go landscape in California profitably. So I'm bound to a geographic area. But if you're not, it is much more profitable to build your business and take your payments online and sell online. If you ever watch Shark Tank, everybody that they come to when they say, oh, I want to open a restaurant, I want to open 5 stores, they always tell them, get successful online first because it's cheaper, it's more profitable, your reach is wider, and there's just a lot of different ways to improve your customer relations. And I'm going to say, I'm not going to read all that to you. You're going to get this presentation when we're done. So I want to talk about some of the applications and some of the ways that you can, that your customers can transact with you. Obviously, there's that traditional shopping cart. I put something in the cart, I buy it. There's subscriptions and memberships, and then one-time payments, right? So when we talk about these words we're going to be using, I want to talk about conversion rate and digital touch point management. That's going to be a lot of what we're talking about today. Conversion rate is just if I have 100 customers or 100 people visit my site and one buys, I have a 1% conversion rate. It is the amount of people that actually take the next step with you as opposed to how many visitors you've had in total. So it's just divide, it's simple math. And that would be your conversion rate. And if you are going to make a business online and you're going to get really serious about this, there's 3 jobs you have. 3. Make sure you write this down. So important. The very first one is you have to show up when people are looking for things that you offer. 2, when they get to your site, you have to convince them they're in the right place. And I'm going to talk about that a little more later on. And number 3, you have to convince them to take that next step with you, transact, sign up, book a call, whatever that next step is, purchase, buy, doesn't matter. And throughout your customer's journey, there's going to be different points in that journey that you have an ability to engage with them, your brand and your business, and maybe even you personal. So, and I did say this last week, but email is still number one when it comes to sales, guys. I know a lot of people have a hard time believing this, but it is still number one. And I want you to think of email like this. When you're building a list, when there's an opportunity for someone to give you their email while they're on their website. If you have a digital store or an office, someone can come in, I'm sorry, a physical store or an office. Let me correct myself. Someone can come in and they can, oh, you could say, hi, how you doing? Is there something you're looking for that you don't find? What can I help you with? You can get to know them, build rapport, right? Well, on your website, you're not physically there. So you need something, because once they leave, they're forever gone. They're probably never going to remember your website. You need a way to kind of keep in contact with them and nurture that relationship digitally. And email is the best way to do that. All right. So Julie said, I looked into Google Trends and Answer the Public, and it really helped me with the keywords on some new products that we're introducing for the holidays. Yes, I didn't even know existed. Julie, unmute yourself and kind of elaborate on that. So are you creating new products based on the data that you found?
So we were in the process of creating some new, and I'm going to use this because this totally blew my mind. So
Good, awesome.
there is a product called cluster boards. I had no
Okay.
idea this was even a thing. And I happened to be developing a product that actually fit into the definition of what a cluster board is.
Okay.
And it was something that's been trending.
Oh,
So that is how I'm going to start keywording this. It's a holiday board. So it's actually a board with like holiday Christmas things on it. So I'm going to start keywording it as that. I'm
yes.
going to pick up on it. I'm feeling like now I can do that, like sell the small sets to complement the boards for Valentine's Day or whatever, but I could use those keywords to do it.
Yeah, I've never heard of it either. So that's actually
You.
that's actually the beauty. But you know what, Jewel, this is it. The younger generation, like the 30-year-olds or whatever, if I asked my daughter, she probably would know what it is. Right?
Exactly.
And that's why we have to do this, because over time humans change what we call lexicon, the words they use for stuff. I would imagine this is like a cluster board is like a, you know, one of those things, a vision board, right? Or no, very different.
Well, so it's a cutting board or a board, but it's
Oh.
got a bunch of different sections that are elevated.
Okay.
And
Wow. Okay.
that happened to be something I was developing. I just didn't know it was called
A
that.
thing. See, you're trending. And also, you might want to, at some point, look at some of your own products and rename them.
Yes, and actually my son handles, I'm actually not this part of the business. But he's got it, he's busy during the time, so I'm doing this on his behalf, but that's what he's been doing. So
Did you share with him some of the tools and the information that you're finding? Obviously, you
oh,
did, right?
absolutely. Absolutely. He's already been on it. We both have been. It's been wonderful. It really was an eye opener. And the answer the public was another great one because it's not something that we've been like pushing. So now that I see what people are concerned about or looking for, we're going through our Etsy descriptions. We're going to change all that. We're going to
Yes.
hashtag and we're going to add a lot of those in because it's going to make the difference. Because it's hard to get yourself. There's a lot of people on Etsy. It's hard to get yourself up there.
Oh my gosh, I know. It's like you're drowning in a sea, right?
Yes, and it's like, how do we get ourselves on the top? Like we're really trying hard, but it's
What you just said, that's how you get yourself. And Julie,
yes,
and anything that I'm telling you with SEO, search engine, or algorithm, optimizing your content to get found, it takes time.
yes,
So just say, you know what, we're going to do this dry run for this holiday season, and it might
yes,
not generate the results we're hoping for. But if you stay consistent, next season will be completely different. I promise.
exactly. That's exactly how we're approaching this. So
Great.
thank
Great,
you.
great, great. Okay, thanks, Julie, for that insight. So I am going to review the 3 tools before we go in. And maybe I think I explain them in the checklist. I do. You're going to get a checklist as well, but I just want to explain these. Okay. I'm going to show you one. I'm going to explain it, show you one, and come back to this. So I'm going to start with Google Ads. And Google Ads has a tool in it called Keyword Planner right here. Keyword Planner allows me to look at search volume. So if I was to type in the word, and I always use plumber, but maybe that's not the great, let's say vanilla. I'm picking on you again, Mavis. Scented candles. And also we're going to go deeper into the intent behind the search. It's like reading their minds. Like when they put these words in, what is their intention? What are they hoping to find? Okay. So this gives me the search volume of my term. And you start with your basic products. And then this gives me all of the variations, right? Now I'm seeing this Yankee Candle Vanilla Lime. That's up 900% over the last 3 months. And year over year, it's also 900%. Mavis, I would think about a vanilla lime candle, right? This gives us insight into how many people are actually using this term to find stuff. And the other thing is, you can't use the word vanilla scented candle 200 times in a piece of content. So you need some variations to it. And this will give you variations. And it'll also see, look at this one. This one is down 90%. So this might have been big last year, but not so much anymore. And I apologize, I'm on a client's analytics and they're Canadian. So you'll see the Canadian thing. Let me get into a US one so that you can, the search volume is accurate. So now that I have vanilla scented candles, again, I'm going to come really quick back to my, where are we? There we go. And so I know Google Ads is going to give me Keyword Planner. Now I want to go into Google Trends. And this is what Julie did and what she uncovered. So I'm going to type in Google Trends and I want to see if there's anything up and coming that I need to be aware of. And here's why, guys, because if you are a small business and you're in a highly competitive space like beauty products or beauty accessories, you're going up against industry giants and they are going to crush you. So what you want to do is you want to find things that are up and coming and get on them first. Because if you get on the trend first, you win. So I'm going to do vanilla scented candles and I'm just looking for opportunities. And Mavis, if you're selling across the country, well, that didn't come up with, oh, that's the past day. I'm sorry. We want to change that to 12 months. And here's why. I don't think candle. Let's see. I'm going to use just scented candle. I think that'll give us better data. It does. Okay. So what happens here is it's going to show me the peaks and valleys when people are looking most over the course of the year. And obviously, Mavis, you got this big opportunity in the holidays, right? But there's other, these peaks don't look as big as this one, but there's still peaks and valleys throughout the year. So what you want to do is you want to get before the peak and you want to generate a lot of content around this term. So when the peak starts to happen, you are at the table of opportunity. And then down here, it gives you, the top states where this search term is being used to search. But down here is really where the gold is. And this is where Julie found her cluster board or whatever. Cluster board, yes. Okay, so it's going to give you trends that are on the rise. Stroke scented candle, I have no idea what that is, but that's up 350% this year. Candle warmer lamp. So if you're selling candles, you might want to sell the warmer lamp with them. Bleach scented candles, that's my kind of candle right there, baby. Oh, I'm all about the bleach scent in my house. And my whole family, I gotta tell this one. You know what, Mavis? That might be a thing. That might be a thing for you. I know it's toxic, but it's not actually the actual chemical. Dr. Pepper scented candles up 100%. So these are things that are rising that if you're not aware of, man, you are missing the boat. Okay. That's Google Trends. How many of you are following me? Nikia, I want to make sure for you because you're in a very highly competitive space, very highly. Emma, you've been kind of quiet. Can you chime in and just let me know if you're following along?
Hi. Yeah, good morning. I am following along. I spent some time this morning before the call actually on Google Trends, and I found out for myself because I make like handmade jewelry that I wasn't planning on doing this, but apparently like safety pin jewelries and like safety pin earrings and necklaces and stuff, which I was
Wow.
super surprised about. It would fit along with my stuff. So I'm thinking about maybe incorporating that. And I'm also doing like charm necklaces, and that is trending thankfully too. So
Thank
yeah, it's
goodness,
really
right?
helpful.
Oh, Emma, I'm glad you're on. You were on last week as well. Yes.
Yeah.
So you are uncovering some opportunities. And okay, great, great. I'm glad you chimed in.
Yeah. Thank you.
Morgan, thank you, Stephanie. Great. Okay. Let's see here. We're still missing a few here, and Nikia is one of them. I just want to make sure because I might use her as an example. All right, so that's Google Trends. And then what the other tool you want to use is what's called Answer the Public. Answer the Public is a culmination of every question being asked on the internet around a topic. And why this is important? Because of two reasons. One is I do have an account, but I don't remember my account login. One is that every single search, whether it has a question mark or not, or every single, search in social media or in search engines or on Yelp, it's a question. And then also, Google tells us that if we answer the question the best, they will favor us, any search engine. And I always use Google because remember, Google has 92% of the search volume in the globe. So I say to everyone, like, get that 92% first and then go work on Bing and DuckDuckGo. But 92% of the search volume in the world happens on Google. So what you'll do is you'll put your topic in here and you will get a list of questions being asked. So I don't know if this is a thing, Julie, but I'm going to try your word. And it gives you an initial view of wheels. I'm not crazy about it because my brain can't do that. So I will usually list it out or put it in tables. And that really didn't come up with anything. So maybe, it's not caught on as much for people asking about what it is. But let's say website design. It's already in there. I'm already in there, guys. I'm already in there. Okay, so let me just sign in. And I don't remember my password, and I don't want to keep you guys. Let's see. All right, so this is so important. And the reason I say it is, no results for website design. I doubt that highly. Because I want to explain the journey of a customer, and I want to give you a scenario. And so that search volume is 74,000. It's pretty competitive. If I was to run Google ads, it would cost me $25 a click. I'm a small business. I'm not paying $25 a click. So there's got to be other ways that I can capture this customer if they're looking for web design or web development. And here's what I want to explain to you. So let's move into this a little bit. Well, let me see. Did I cover everything? Answer the public. Yep. Google Trends. Got it all. Okay. So while I'm talking, if you are getting bored, please go ahead and start playing with these tools. So important. So in this part of the conversation and this part of the series, we are talking about your customer journey, your potential customer. And the most important part, again, is making sure that you're showing up in that journey so that you're a viable option. You know, they may not pick you, they may not buy from you, but geez, you got to have that seat at the table, right? So let's look at the customer journey. Now, we know unequivocally that 80% of purchases, services book start with an online search. So 80% of your potential customers are going to their device and they're looking something up. So let's talk about awareness. This is where the questions come in. I'm going to give you a scenario. One is I think I used this last week. I don't know. I do so many of these, but this is my go-to scenario. I have a rash on my leg. So what do? How many of you have self-diagnosed with Google? I mean, we all do it. I do not recommend it. And this is not medical advice, right? But I go to Google, I got this rash on my leg. I find a bunch of things. I'm aware I have a problem, right? And I go to the drugstore, I buy the tea tree oil, whatever they're telling me to get, and it doesn't clear it up. So now I start with, okay, I have a problem and I got to solve it. So one of the things is, who can solve this? So I start searching who can help me with a rash on my leg, and dermatologists pop up. So now I start asking, I start going to Google, looking up dermatologists. Maybe I ask on social media, maybe I phone a friend, a neighbor, a family member, whatever. And then now my search becomes my awareness. I go from awareness to, like, I know I have a problem and I know you're out there, but now I go to consideration. I'm looking at all the dermatologists, who's closest to me, who's the best one, who has the best reviews. The way that they consider and make a decision is different in every industry. It's very different. Some people make a decision based on price, some based on proximity. How close is this to me? Some do it on originality, like for you, Julie, like, hey, I can't find a cluster board anywhere locally, so I am definitely going to get this. And then they make the decision, and obviously they become a customer, and their journey doesn't end with you there. You still have to kind of nurture that relationship. But I also want to say that your customer journey will never, rarely start and end with you. Here's why. Because if I have that rash on my leg, I've already started this other journey, and I've already transacted maybe with a drugstore, or I bought, doTERRA oils or whatever. And then after I go to the dermatologist, I might go and buy like special cream to keep my legs soft because the medicine he gave me dries it out. And in a more common example, if I'm getting a pool, let's say I'm getting a pool put into my backyard. My journey doesn't start and end with the pool guy. I need landscapers, I need excavation. And then after it's all done, I need some furniture. I want to do this. Maybe I need a cute pool boy to come in once a week. So it doesn't start and end with you. So you really have to think about the journey as a whole, number one, and the ecosystem. Your industry has an ecosystem. It does. And when I say ecosystem, I mean there are other businesses out there that you don't compete with, but you share the same customer. So Julie, I self-diagnose all the time. Yes, I do, Christina. Don't do it. Julie, for this cluster board, what do they need to put on it? Because you're not filling it, are you? You're selling it plain, right? Give me some insight into
So
that.
what this board that I'm developing is, I want to develop a board that somebody can use all year long.
Right.
At the same time, be able to tailor it to a holiday or an occasion. So what this does is it sells a plain board that's underneath. And then on top of, actually it's scrap wood from other boards that I've made, cutting shapes that relate to that holiday. And they're
Okay.
actually very thick, so you can
Love that.
stack and do an elevation on the board
Right.
itself, but it's very holiday related, or 4th of July.
So they need some cheese and meat for that board, right?
They need whatever it is. So that's another thing. Like there's s'more boards, there's cookie boards, there's
Right. But they don't buy that with you, right? Is that correct?
So yes, they would need, whatever. And that actually, it's spurred a lot of ideas, even on the marketing end, with like the imaging and stuff like that. Like,
Mhm.
I could see like coconut falling down on this Christmas board or whatever.
Right. But they're not buying that food from you, correct?
No, they're not buying the
That's
food.
right.
It's just the board. So I need
Okay.
we tried to, last holiday, we really upped like putting the boards on there situated for Christmas, showing how to use, how beautiful it could look with all your
Okay.
food on it or whatever.
Right.
So we really picked that up, and that's what I'm looking at for this particular thing too.
So I would say you and the grocery store share the same customer.
Yes.
And if they need plates and cute little forks, you and Party City might share the same customer. Is everybody following me on that journey doesn't start and end with
Yes.
you? So, and I'll get into this later on about some partnerships that you could partner up with some other businesses that complete the journey, not compete with the journey. So one of the things that you have to ask yourself, are you present in that journey? And I always use the term omnipresent because I know there's a lot of experts out there in my industry that says, oh, you don't have to be on every platform. Pick one social media where your customers are, blah, blah, blah. And I say, baloney, get your business on any and all platforms because you just never know. Things change and you want to show up when someone is looking for you. So again, you got to show up when it matters. You got to get them to engage with you and then convince them, excuse me, you're the right choice. That's why the words that you use in your content matter. And there's going to be marketing experts, and you're going to read stuff that says, well, search engine optimization is dead. And I'm going to say this to you in its most basic form. This might surprise you a lot. So get ready, write this down. Your potential customer is a human. I know that's mind-boggling. And as long as humans use words in their devices, search engine optimization will never be dead. Now, it is evolving with AI and that AI-generated search, but you have to pivot your strategy. And that's why I say answer the public is the best, because you know yourself when you do that first search and you get that quick result. Many times for me, I need a deeper dive. So I'm going to go down in the list to see what else is there. So if you are doing this right, you're going to answer that question with the most in-depth thing. Julie, for you, Pinterest would be a great play. So let's go into this a little bit. And I know I talked about images, and I know I talked about this last week, but images will help you convert. I want to get into the conversion rate and the journey. So I would like for all of you right now to say, what problem do I solve and what need do I fill? And I think I explained this last week, but I'll review it. Yes, Victoria, I want to buy one too. So Julie, let us all know. What problem do you solve? What need? Now, I want to make clear that problem and need can be the same thing for somebody. I need, I need something to put my cheese and crackers on for the holiday. Or I need a makeup thing that kind of holds all my brushes and all my stuff. And, now I can't find the right one. It becomes a problem in my mind. It's a problem. But if, I was just struggling to make my rent, that wouldn't be a big problem, right? So we define problems ourselves. So you have to say, what problem do I solve? What need do I fill? And a lot of times they overlap. With that being said, I would like for you to bring up a Google search. And I want you to type in the problem, and I want you to see who shows up. And just if you run into anything that you're kind of like, wow, I didn't know this even exists, please share that with us so that you can share that with your peers. Go ahead and type that in. What problem do you solve? How to get new customers. That's the problem I solve. So again, it's going to give me this AI thing, and it's going to, you know, if I'm a savvy business owner, I already know all of this, you know. But look at LinkedIn says they can help me. Constant Contact says they can help me. Here's another one. Finding clients is a snap. Now, this is a marketing campaign geared towards a question. Here's why, guys. So let me just bring up a funnel. When a customer is on this journey, they're inside what we call a sales funnel. All right, and this is what it looks like. Does everybody see this? And again, it's the same thing as the journey. So up here, it's awareness, right? They become aware of you when they start searching about their problem. So way up here, they are in the funnel. If I already know the answer to my funnel or to my problem, I'm here. I'm in between these two. I already know what's going to solve my problem. I'm close to a transaction. And the words that they use in their devices to search will tell you where they are in the funnel. Is everyone following me? Because this is a concept you need to understand. Because as you produce content, I want you to make sure that you're producing content for every stage of the funnel. I'm going to give you an example. I have a lot of clients who are health coaches, right? And these health coaches actually sell products. And I'm going to share one with you right now. She is a nutritionist, health coach, but she developed this hydration drink, right? And I'm a woman over 50, let's say. And I've actually done this. When my body started to change, who said I self-diagnosed? Christina. I go to Google, you know, my hair is thinning or this, right? Her product can help solve some of those problems of, let's say, premenopause or aging or whatever. But I don't even know that yet. I did not know that when you are hydrated better, these things kind of go away. But here's what's even more important about this. I also didn't know that our tap water doesn't have the right minerals and elements to hydrate us properly. You see where I'm going here? So for her, what we're going to do is lots of education on her site. So people can say, oh, because if my hair is falling out, I might go to my doctor, or I might buy the hair stuff at the drugstore, which is probably not going to help me. It might help a little, but if I don't know that I'm not hydrated enough, and that can solve some of my hair follicles not growing back. Do you see? And this is just an example. This is not advice or anything. I'm just making this up as I go. So do you see where I have a problem and I don't know what can solve it? I mean, if you grab them there, you can really nurture them to a sale with email. How many of you are following me? This is really important because this is Crystal, I see you're on.
I'm here. Yes.
Okay. What
Following.
kind of business are you in?
So kind of similar to, it's funny that you keep using Julie's example because I'm actually the cheese to her board.
Oh, all right. I'm going to use both of you in my example. Okay.
Yeah, this has been so helpful, especially that when you use those examples, I'm like, this is amazing because you're doing a lot of the work for us, which is great.
Yes.
And
Okay.
yeah,
Great.
no, this is great. I'm sitting here brainstorming, following everything that you're saying, and
Okay.
it is very interesting to think of how the customer search. This is not
Yeah.
my house at all. Being on the digital side of things. So this is why I'm really interested in this class, and
Okay.
yeah,
So,
learning a lot.
you know what, Crystal, I don't want you to think of the digital side. All I want you to do is think of a time, and we have it daily probably, that you had a problem. I have a leaky pipe. I'm out of dish detergent. I need a throw rug for the front of my kitchen. I'm having a party and I need some really cute decor. And in terms of Nikia, my makeup bin is out of control. I need something that's going to sort everything. So these are the things every day that we run into. Just think about yourself. The last time you went and searched online, and you are going to be crushed by companies like Amazon, or your local grocery chain, or even Etsy is going to crush you, because they're industry giants and they're paying a lot for ads and they're paying a lot for SEO. That's why it's important at the top of the funnel to educate. Here's why. Here's how you beat the giants. You want to go up against Kohl's, Walmart, Amazon. This is how you do it. So pay attention, very important. There are 3 types of search intent. That means, what is my intention behind this search? So if I look up scented candles, my intent may not be where to buy them. It might be I'm looking on how to make them. Correct? If I search the best wireless earbuds, my intent right in that search is not a purchase. It is, I want to kind of see what's out there, whether the features are, I want to compare pricing. I'm not ready to buy yet, right? And now that I kind of know what I need, I type the word in cluster boards or cluster board near me. I'm ready to buy. So you're probably saying, well, how do I know what question, what queries, what terms? How do I know which ones are which? So write this down. There is searching to learn. Yes, Mavis, absolutely. So there is informational. I'm just looking for information. I'm not even in your journey. Okay. 2, it is what we call a commercial search. This is a comparison of things. What's highly in the commercial search and that intention is like cars, household items with features, electronics, even the best restaurants for pizza, So how you tell what is and then the last one, I'm sorry, is transactional. This search means they're ready to buy, but you want to capture people at every stage of the funnel. So you're going to be producing content that's going to help them and educate them, and then compare you and why you, like you got to sell them on why you, and then I'm ready to go. So if I look up, and I'm going to use scented candles. If I look that up, right here, I can tell immediately, guys, this is a transactional search. Now, how does Google decide that the intent behind this search term is somebody wants to buy. The reason they know is I think they do like 32, I think there's like 32 billion searches a day on Google, and they've been around 20 years. So that data tells them, you know, okay, typically 99% of the time when somebody puts this in, they're looking to purchase. So what Google does is it presents options to buy. That's how you tell. Now let's just look up the word candles. Again, these are sponsored, guys, because they're paying to be in this part of the journey. So this is all sponsored shopping ads. Again, here, this is a transactional search. And let me give you a little inkling. Who's our candle girl? 3 months ago, guys, it was not a transactional search. The reason why it's transactional, does anybody know why now? 3 months ago, it showed me how-to videos and how to make candles and how to make scented candles. Now we're in the holiday season. This search intention is transactional. Are you following me? So let's do best scented candles. Oh, that's not it. Now I can tell that sometimes it's transactional, but most times it's commercial. Because this is a lot of comparisons, reviews, Reddit. And that's how you're going to tell it's commercial, when they're looking to compare. But this is probably a bad example for this time of year. How many of you are following me? Yes. So it's informational. Commercial means I'm looking to compare. Transactional, I'm ready to buy. I'm going to use this one. Black dress. Very, very transactional, because they know historically when someone put that in, they made a purchase. And also I'll look at, and now, so here's the other thing. If I do this, you see all these that come up? These are related popular searches. So if black dress is highly competitive with you and you're just not going to win against Kohl's, Amazon, and Walmart, you're going to choose one of these other ones. So that's how you would tell whether something is transactional, is commercial, or informational. Let's say I do website design. And look, I could do the trends. I could do Buffalo, New York. I could sell templates, ideas. This is very informational, guys. But if you look at this company right here, they're paying to capture them up on top of the funnel. They're not ready to buy. They're just looking for ideas right now. All of this, look at, if I do all of this website design, much of this is informational. Now, if I add the word designers, I'm getting transactional. You see how this works? Everyone with me? Are you on Google looking at your search? So the word that you choose, you are going to make sure that you're meeting them at the funnel with, or at that place in the funnel with content. So if I want to show up for web design and I don't want to compete with the big dogs in my industry, I might choose a topic like this, or sell templates. Or, which I've already done, put a cost calculator on my website. And we get a lot of traffic for that. Inspiration. These are the most popular searches related to this term. And if I knew really well how to spell charcuterie, Julie, I would do that for you, but I would struggle. Bulk, benefits, informational, right? Near me, transactional. I have no idea what NZ is, but very transactional. All of these are very transactional. So I would look for variations so that I'm not competing with Amazon. Find variations that are popular that you have an opportunity to show up. And that's how you would tell whether the intent is. So now if I'm going to use the word web design, and I'm going to put the cost calculator, build a lot of content around that. And then I'm going to use web design, maybe ideas, and build some content around that, share it on social media, write a post about it, write a page. And then web designer, I'm going to really focus on the people and the team and build out their profiles and use that word because that's transactional. And I also want to use location signals. Location signals, very important. Now we do business all over the United States, and there are areas I want to target. I want more customers in Texas. I want more customers in Florida. So I am going to use hashtags in my social media that target that location. I'm going to use content that target that location. Like we're located in Buffalo. Our web designers are located in Buffalo, New York, but we're working with businesses in Naples, Florida, and our web designers have worked with businesses in Naples, Florida. You see how I'm incorporating those location signals for the algorithm or the device. So when we say web designer near me, that is your opportunity to implement location signals. I'm going to show you a site that I built, and I work with a very fancy, expensive SEO company out of California because their specialty is attorneys. And when I built the site, I had to create, let me show you this. I had to create a page for every service in every city, and link it. Well, they're not all on here, but you would see we get white labeled by them. But I had to create 2,000 pages for every service in every city. So if I click on this, the name of this page is Malpractice Lawyer, Chicago, Illinois. This is their location signal. And all the content is around Chicago, Illinois. These guys are experts. I'm actually logged into the website. These guys are experts in this. And I can see the traffic this site gets. It's unbelievable, unbelievable. So location signals are very, very important if you want to show up elsewhere. All right. Renaissance Fair gets pretty specific when people know the fair. But I've wondered if I should adventure with fall. Oh, yes. Sam. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Fun things to do near me, fun things to do in this location. I'm not sure what a Renaissance Fair is. I think it's like
it's like the circus set in the 1500s, but not historically accurate.
Okay. You know what they're looking for when they go to these things? What are they looking for? Attire, right?
Mm-hmm.
So get them there.
Yeah.
Maybe you write a blog on the best place to buy Renaissance costumes or whatever, right?
Blog would maybe be a good addition to our site because there are these like frequently asked questions, you know?
Yep. They're fun. I went to. Okay. Emma. Okay, great. All right. This is going to draw a conclusion to my presentation here. And the whole idea today is really talking about one, search intent, how to understand where to capture people in that funnel, and then what words are they using on what platform. So I showed you Google, but you can do that search in Facebook, in Instagram, in TikTok. If you go to TikTok's the best one for optimization. If you go to TikTok and search your product or service, it's going to show you all of the most popular searches related to that. And again, you're building content around that. You want to make sure that you're showing up in that journey. One is awareness, that is, and it's twofold. I have a problem. I don't know what's going to solve it. And I have a problem. And oh, here you are. So when they don't know how to solve the problem or who can solve it, that's where you need to figure out how to capture them. And your content is what I call the mousetrap. Not the mousetrap, that sounds terrible, but you know what I mean. Your net. That's how you kind of get people into the fold. Any questions? How can we access video and checklists? I've not been able to find anything for last class. Okay. They weren't sure what I was allowing them to share, Brenda. So Brenda and the team at the SBDC, but anything that I send over, Brenda, can be completely shared with anyone on the presentation. These are free resources. If you want additional tools like how to do keyword research properly, you know, how to create a homepage that converts. So there are resources on my website, and my website's listed in the presentation. So once you get them to your website, remember, guys, you've got to convince them you're the right choice. And you do that with a couple of different things. One is trust. Do I trust you? If your website looks amateur and wonky, that's right out of the gate. They won't trust you. That's why I always tell everybody, get a professional to build your website, because when somebody hits your website, you have about 2 seconds. That's it to convince them they're in the right place. And that is everything what we call above the fold. And that is what they see before they scroll. If you don't convince them above the fold, they bounce off. So when you look at Ravy, the hook and the picture, you know, obviously the images and the colors matter. That's a whole nother topic. But I am telling people, hydrate better, all natural electrolytes and minerals. Oh, I'm in the right place. I'm looking for electrolytes. I want vitality and energy, and I want to be hydrated. I'm in the right place. But it's literally 2 seconds. So now I know I'm in the right place. I start going around. The longer they're on their site, your site, the more they are considering you. The more they click through, the more they are considering you. But your job is to build trust and make sure, this is what we call above the fold right here. If I start to scroll, I'm below the fold. And you have 2 seconds. So whatever you put here and here has to be spectacular.